Am I?
You're fine.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Watch your phone.
Notification.
Perfect. We are live.
Hello, Internet.
Hello.
Hello. So we are the Knights of the Drunk Watch, and this is our weekly Game of Thrones rewatch. We're doing season 3 now, episodes 1 through 5. We watched it. We took notes. Now we're going to talk about it.
Yay.
Introductions?
Hello, I'm Andrew.
I'm Mark.
I'm Kate.
We are
Zach is over there.
Zach is hiding because
Yeah.
he thinks we're stupid.
That's
And
fair.
we are the Knights of the Drunk Watch.
And
now
now
our
our
talk
talk begins.
Um,
Okay.
Let me open my notes.
So, season 3. Yeah, I gotta open my notes too, I guess.
Open.
We were ready and prepared for this. So we start with Valar Harris. All men must serve.
Yes.
Oh, and we get a
it's already
pre-credit
open.
scene.
Which one was that? Oh,
It
that
was
was
Sam.
So yeah, we had some debate about exactly what happened with Sam at the end of last season because of the weird editing where it looked like the Walker saw him, but he didn't. So it just...
I don't believe it. He did.
Well,
'cause
whether
that's
he
bullshit.
saw him or not, where it began the next scene, he apparently got up and started running.
Yes.
So.
Well, I mean, I just go back to the beginning of the series where they let one person go.
Yeah.
They could have killed that guy, but they let him go so he could spread fear. So I think Sam was probably elected. It's like, oh, you're out here, fine.
Yeah.
You go off and tell
You're
people.
not a threat. Yeah.
Yes, and Samuel had one job to do, and that was to
Oh,
send the ravens,
God.
and he failed to do that.
His little sad face is the worst.
He's just like...
Oh, I didn't.
Anyway, yeah, so a lot of the Night's Watch got killed up there. They went up there with like 200 men, and seemed like only a handful came back. Okay, and then we meet Jon meets Mance Rayder, the King Beyond the Wall, and we also meet Tormund Giantsbane. Yes, we love
I like
him.
all of this. I like that. Like, they're all just such dicks. Like, oh, I'm gonna make you kneel every time I fart. Oh, like, come on.
Oh, that's what that was about.
Yeah, well,
I'm just like, didn't we just skip a bunch of shit? Oh no, I only took one note there, and I wrote down a question for our.
well, and it was interesting because yes, Jon is trying to infiltrate the wildlings to, learn what he can about them and whatnot, and then, when Mance asked him, why do you want to join us? Like, he actually kind of told the truth when he mentioned that he saw Craster offering his sons and the fact that Lord Mormont knew and didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So, you know what they say, if you always tell the truth, you never have to remember what the story is.
Right.
Yeah. So what the only note I really took on this scene, because one of the things that I'm beginning to track that's beginning to come up with this season is that we're really beginning to see where what seemed to be major characters just cut away, and Mance has no wife nor sister-in-law, which were two. He had a wife, and I believe she had a sister.
Oh yeah, then
and
they
Mance
had
has
a
a baby. I mean, so we completely cut them out of the story entirely.
Oh, right.
So, if you've read the books. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. I was trying to
always forget a spoiler alert.
And you didn't clarify, like, from the books they were cutting characters, so I was like,
yeah, I was like,
he
what
never had a
characters?
fucking sister. What are you talking about? Where did
No,
you get that
cutting
information?
characters-
Out of the books.
Because
Got
obviously,
it.
for the TV show, they can't,
Have fucking
well,
1,000 billion named
George R.R.
characters.
Martin lost control and took a 3-book series and made it unending.
Yeah.
So they're beginning to cut and conflate depending what's important to the core storyline. So I just made note of that because I do find it interesting beginning to watch it. Wonder how does that? I wonder because that's the only thing that's going to make the books interesting to me is to see how all this extra stuff plays out.
Yeah.
Because we'll know how it ends.
Well, we're probably not going to get another book, so I've completely given up on that
but
anyway.
But if we did,
I haven't given up hope.
All right, and then we go to Tyrion, who frickin' saved the city from Stannis and his fleet But like the moment Tywin showed up, they literally just like took him out of the hand or the Tower of the Hand, put him down in a little tiny room. Cersei references, "Oh, we thought you lost your nose," which was a reference to in the books his entire nose gets chopped off. But obviously, it would be painstakingly ridiculous and too expensive to have to like CGI his nose off a major character for many more seasons.
They make way too much, I think, of that scar just like ruining him. It's like, it's just a little scar.
It's a big scar across his whole face.
It heals up pretty fast though. Oh, and then Tyrion meets with Tywin. Tywin's doing that thing he does with, like, he just sits there and writes letters while people sit in front of him.
There is so much, in these 5 episodes, there was so much good awkward time. Like, we're going to get to that other scene with the chairs. Just fucking brilliant of just nonsense.
But also just, showing Tywin how much disdain he pretty much has for everybody.
Yeah.
He just thinks he's better than everybody, including his children. Yeah,
well, I mean, that's when Tyrion asked for his by right, is he asked for Casterly Rock. Since Jaime can't inherit, Cersei won't. So, but Tywin says no just because he's afraid Tyrion's going to turn it into a whorehouse. Which...
Well, but it's not just that. He also basically says, like, no, fuck off, I would never give it to you.
Yeah, he says, I allow you to bear my name only because I cannot prove that you are not mine. Which was back in the day when we had all the fan theories going about Tyrion being a possible Targaryen, but clearly they're not going in that direction.
Yeah.
So, moving on. Then we see... Oh, Davos is alive!
He looks rough.
Before we get to Davos, I just had a question. Will Bronn ever draw that fucking knife that he keeps on his back?
Oh, does he not?
He's gone for it twice now.
Yeah.
It has been cut short. It was like, okay, but we know he's got a knife.
Yeah.
He's got a knife there. I don't know. He may have used it and I've forgotten. Well, we'll know in the next so many weeks. But
alright, so Davos, there is, he goes and he meets Melisandre, and, he is, like, determined to kill her, but Melisandre, I mean, from what we hear now, she burns anyone who speaks out against her.
Yeah.
And you see, like, the way she is purposely trying to get a rise out of Davos. She starts saying, oh, if I had been there at King's Landing, Stannis would have been victorious, but you were the one that convinced him not to, and your son died. Everyone died because of you, Davos. How guilty do you feel? Like, she was purposely trying to get a rise out of him so that Stannis would lock him up for attempted murder.
Yeah, especially, like, to his face being like, I told you, like I told your son, fire is the purest form of death. It's like, bitch, his son just got burned. Come on. We also meet Qyburn in this episode, which I forget, like, how much he gets handed around. Because when we encounter him, first it's
at Harrenhal.
And he's at Harrenhal, and Robb has him.
Well, he's at Harrenhal. Yeah, he's at Harrenhal with the Stark men, and I made the note then that Harrenhal seems to be where Robb starts to lose his grip because everyone's just so shocked at how devastated their side is.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like
this one spot.
His men are tired. They're bored. They're
dying.
Yeah, when they started off in this war, like, they had several victories in a row. Now, like, all the Lannister armies are at King's Landing. Oh, we bored Zach so much he's snoring now. Like, his men, like, now they have nothing to fight. Like, Robb is losing his purpose, and when they got to Harrenhal, they thought they were going to have a battle, but no, they just go there and find a lot of the northern men have been killed and tortured.
Yeah.
Plus, Robb has married her, and it's like
Talissa.
Yeah, but anyways, that's where Qyburn first shows up. But then, Robb leaves Harrenhal in Roose Bolton's charge.
Yes.
So then, when Roose Bolton turns, Qyburn is already there just to follow along.
I just think it's
he eventually goes with Jaime. So, like, once he meets Jaime, he kind of stays with Jaime all the way to King's Landing.
What
anything else about Robb? Then we go to Littlefinger. He's starting to now that Sansa's no longer betrothed to Joffrey, like Littlefinger starts moving in. He and you can see like he's so manipulating her, and he starts off by saying something like, "Oh well, I just saw your mother. Oh, and I know where Arya is.
And your
like,
sister, yeah.
Don't you want to see your family again?"
So I think that goes back. I don't think he's bullshitting here. He figured out that Arya was Tywin's, was at Harrenhal. Yes,
I don't think so.
But he didn't need to call her out. It wasn't important for him to call her out. He just knows she's alive and she's out there. That's all he needs to know. Because that's why he brought up, and then that's why he's bringing her up again here.
Well, no, because he did that to Catelyn too. He's all like, Sansa and Arya are both safe. Like he lied to Catelyn.
Before he saw her.
But like he's been kind of saying that to
I will need further proof
because he knows Arya.
I don't believe it is, because also like when Sansa says, "Oh, you know where Arya is," he just completely deflects and moves on to another conversation. Mm-hmm. Like he doesn't talk about it at all. So I think this is.
Why would he tell her that?
Because he's trying to get her onto his side.
For more
but I don't think he would tell her where. I think he knows.
I don't think he does. I think
you're outvoted.
Well, and even if you aren't, like, I think that's something we can keep an eye out for, and maybe there will be a future moment where he definitely does.
No, because
but like, I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
Oh, then we go to the dragons. So finally, the dragons are starting to grow. They're not little babies
They're
anymore.
having such a good time in the ocean.
This is the first time we see them flying. They're finally flying now. Their spikes are like getting bigger. Like they're starting to really look like dragons.
Fishing.
Yeah, and that was cool. Like he like dives down and grabs a fish, tosses it in the air, burns it, and then eats it. And then this is where Jorah starts reminding. He's talking about the Dothraki. The Dothraki follow power and strength. So it's kind of like he's planting the seed in her mind that the dragons are growing and she needs like a demonstration of her powers soon.
See, this didn't make sense to me because I don't understand why at this point she's not being open with Jorah about her plan. Like, why when they get to Astapor and she's like, "Oh, I'll give you a dragon for it," and they're both like, "No, what the fuck? Don't get." Like, why didn't beforehand she was just like?
I don't think that's her plan in the first episode.
Yeah, I think it was. There's a lot over the next few episodes where she sees the slaves. It's like when she looks around at the slaves, when she hears like about the Unsullied having to kill a baby and stuff. It's just kind of one of those. I think she was gradually forming the idea.
Yeah, like the walk of punishment when she finds out like how they get strung up.
Yeah.
For, the littlest things. I don't think she's shown up here to steal. I mean, not to steal, but to take.
But I mean, I guess like she probably has that plan before she goes in for the negotiations.
Well, and the first one she just
afterwards. Why doesn't she tell? Like, I just don't get why she's not letting them in on the plan at all until she burns it down.
Well, because after everything that's happened to her, like in the last season, I think she's kind of doing this whole like she doesn't. I mean, yes, it is Jorah, but she still doesn't know who she can trust, or she's kind of deciding she wants to do it on her own. Probably because Jorah would have said, "No, don't do that."
Well, and also think about that scene where she takes, the Unsullied. If we knew she was going to do something, if we knew that she's been understanding what that guy's been saying the whole time, like maybe we did because we're supposed to know that she can speak it. Think of the effect of like going, when we get to that episode and she says, "And you guys are free, kill these masters, and my dragon's going to burn you," and I understood every fucking word you said.
Yes, which that was extremely smart of her. That was a really good power play because it allowed the masters to talk freely in front of her, thinking that she couldn't understand anything she said.
Because Miss Andy doesn't even know.
Miss Andy
doesn't even know. What?
Yeah, I mean neither of those are right, but okay.
Miss Sandy.
It's not D, it's Day.
Whatever.
Miss Sandy. Whatever. That girl, the translator who speaks 19 languages, and they do have. I'd probably have this in the next episode, but whatever. We're talking about them. And then she does have that one moment where I think Dany really like kind of. Miss Sandy decides that she likes Dany when she says the Valor Morgulis. And she says, "Yes, all men must die, but we are not men." Mm-hmm. And then she has that little smile, and I think that's where she decided she's like, "I like her," and she was glad she could stay with her.
We also get some Marjorie action in this one.
Princess, I call her.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, I always said that, like, Marjorie is the best at the game. And also, I think she is the queen that they needed. I mean, yes, there's Dany and whatnot, but, like, Dany is, as we're starting to learn, she's a conqueror. But, like, Marjorie is actually, she visits the orphanage. She wants to make sure all the peasants are fed. She wants to take care of them. And that speech that she has to the little kid who lost their dad, you know, she's like, oh, your father was a very brave man, and he saved this city, and you should be proud of him, and stuff. She is so good at being a queen, I think.
I think, and she's also, like, very good at, she's so manipulative, but you like her. Like, we still like her, I feel like. I don't think I ever dislike her.
No, she's...
I not, like, even though, like, it's clear that she's just...
Yeah.
She is making moves, like, she wants to be the queen. She says that. She doesn't want to be a queen. She wants to be the queen.
Right, and it's not just about her. She's not just making power plays. She's actually earning the love of the people. So that she can actually wander through Flea Bottom without worrying about being torn to shreds.
Yeah.
She literally just, like, walks through a pile of shit.
I've got others.
Yes. And then also that dinner with her and Joffrey and Loras and Cersei, where it's just like everything they said with a smile was so shady. Like,
that is. Oh, and then we meet Barristan Selmy.
Yes.
Saves Dany from an assassination attempt, and Ser Jorah does not look pleased. He's all like, he feels like his turf is being invaded. You just see that look on his face when Ser Barristan is like, I want to serve you. And he's just like, ugh.
I think that's episode 1.
Yep, that's all of that episode.
Alright, episode 2, Dark Wings, Dark Words.
We meet more new characters. We meet Jojen and Mira Reed. And we start to get a little bit more information about the Raven. I think he says there that he's like, you are the Raven.
Yeah,
Bran.
he says that in the dream.
You can't kill the Raven because the Raven is you.
Jojen is so, like, I like it. Like, I think I've never cared about him before, but now I'm like, ooh, he's just, like, very confident and like, no, this is how it is, and I'm here for you.
Yeah, because he can see into the future. So, like, what we learn later, spoiler alert, when he dies... Later, like, they say it's like he knew all along that's where his path was going to lead him. So that's kind of why he's all like, you know I'm not going to die today, so I'm happy and I'm confident, and my only mission is to get Bran to the Raven.
Let's see.
So, we had a scene with Shay.
I fucking hate Shay.
Blah.
But I guess she's with Tyrion. She seems so earnest about protecting Sansa.
Yes.
I just don't understand.
That is her
how
one
she
redeeming
cares
quality.
So much, and then yet, in a year, she turns so hard on Tyrion.
Well, we'll discuss that
as
later.
a whore would, moving on to his dad. So,
I mean, and then I think it did kind of seem like they had. I think she does genuinely care for Tyrion. Maybe that, or she's just like, wow, this is the wealthiest patron I'm going to be able to find. But
until she gets her dad, but I just hate her, and I hate her. You're right. I don't hate her with Sansa. I hate her with Tyrion because she's just such a jealous bitch. Like, how dare you call her beautiful? Like, how dare you do anything?
Yeah.
Like, it's like
16.
Grow the fuck up.
But she doesn't do anything. She just sits there. She lays on the bed, and she's like, Tyrion, my lion, where were you? I've been here waiting all day for you. And it's like, well, honey.
He told you not to be there, so he wouldn't expect you to be. It's just, she's the worst.
Yeah.
We also get Elena in this episode.
Oh,
she's so fucking good.
And, so they asked Sansa, tell us, what is Joffrey really like? And she tells them he's a monster. And I wonder if that was when Olenna started, the wheels started turning. She's like, we need a plan B.
Yeah.
If he is a monster. But also, now that they know what a monster he is, like, Marjorie switches gears. She goes in, like, she goes in to seduce, I guess, to, like, win Joffrey's favor. And she goes into his room, and he is sitting there with a crossbow, like, pointed at her. And he's all like, why didn't you consummate your marriage, blah, 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 like, almost threatening her. And the way that she plays it off, she, like, slowly, she plays the dumb girl. She's like, oh, I know nothing of the way of politics, blah, 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 blah. And then she slowly makes her way over to him and then sits down next to him and starts fingering his crossbow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then she's all like...
I like that I said rubbing, you said stroking.
Fingering. I mean, so, like, she's like, okay, well, now I know what sort of guy he is. Let me play that up. And she's like, oh, murder. Wow, how exciting it is to shoot this and kill something over there.
Yeah. Would you like to watch me kill something?
I mean, Marjorie, she has a singular goal. She wants to be the queen. She doesn't care how she gets there.
Yeah.
Or stays there.
Mm-hmm. What else? Oh, whenever I rewatch the show, I always fast forward through Theon's torture scenes.
Oh, God.
I've seen them once the first time around. I don't need to watch them again. But,
we get Jaime and Brienne some more. They get spotted.
Yes, and captured.
Yes, but they get spotted, and then later they're like, oh, we should kill him. And she's like, no, he's an innocent man. And then at the end of the episode, when they get into their little sword fight, that dude is like, yep, there he is.
Actually, they did have knowing that Jaime's supposed to be, like, the best fighter in the Seven Kingdoms, and Brienne is a really great fighter as well, but, like, you see, even with him being handcuffed, he almost, like, got it up on her.
No, he doesn't, though. Like, he starts falling. She, like...
Oh, okay, I don't remember.
Yeah, I was watching for that, and, like...
I mean,
he has to make excuses for why he wasn't better at that fight. And his excuse is, I've been captured for a year.
So I wrote down, does Marjorie give Joffrey the idea about how to... I think Marjorie inadvertently plants the seed in Joffrey's mind into how he uses the crossbow later.
Oh, when he kills the whore?
Like, I could just point this from here and kill something over there.
Yeah.
Oh, how thrilling.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably as soon as he got it, he was like, what can I kill with it?
What can I kill?
Oh, Jon Snow. So he's trying to earn Mance's trust, and he meets a warg for the first time.
Yeah, Orell.
I love Ygritte's, like, response to everything. She's like, you've never seen a giant before. You've never met a warg before.
Yeah, loosen up. Like, clearly he hasn't seen this shit. Get over it. I get a little irritated with her.
It's just wandering around south of the wall.
Yeah,
time,
like,
right?
no.
Right.
He also hasn't seen fucking tigers before. Like, come on.
Now, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, Jon technically is a warg. They don't bring it up in the show, but in the books, all of the Stark children are wargs. Mm-hmm. But Bran is the only one who knows about it and knows how to control it. But, like, the Stark children, they do have wolf dreams, and they do go into their wolves and stuff, but no one explains to them anything about it, so they just assume it's dreams. They don't realize they're warging.
And I made the note that I still don't get how Sam doesn't even toughen up even a little bit. That's one thing. Sam's cowardice has pretty much remained exactly the same.
But I mean,
since the beginning.
And he said it at the beginning. I'm a coward.
I know, but I would.
He owns it.
But you know, are we introduced to him in season 1?
Yeah.
Because in terms of an arc of a character, he has absolutely. You know, I guess maybe with the exception. Maybe him, like, grabbing Gilly and say, go now.
Yeah,
but, like, it's
It's
the
a
same
gradual.
level. It's just, I'm not saying he should be like, hey, now I'm brave, Sam. But
it's a gradual arc that he finally does start to man up.
I just feel like it's been. I'm just a fucking coward. I'm a fucking coward. And that's just boring.
Well, that also
that's boring to me.
Yeah, it makes sense. But it all, like, I feel like he's so lovable that, like, he is there as a tool to, like, give other characters more depth. Like, because of him, we love Jon more for protecting him. We hate Rast more for being such a fucking shit. Like, we like Gilly more because he has the devotion of Sam. Like, so, like, Sam's cowardice and his relationship with other characters allows other characters to have more depth. Like, I think he's just a nice...
Yeah, well,
he'll get better soon.
They diminish some of his of his character too in the show because he doesn't kill a White Walker.
Yeah, he does.
He does,
doesn't
he?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
With the birds.
It happens
they're
later.
Like they're in a cabin.
Yeah.
And then all the crows, and he stabs it.
But.
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
Because he's still Sam the Slayer.
They call him Sam the Slayer at this point. He's already killed one, I think.
No,
not yet.
When he gets dubbed Sam the Slayer?
After he kills the Walker. Yeah, so it needs him and Gilly and the baby are in a
It's
weird
when they're on their way
cabin
back to the wall
by themselves.
So. Right. No, I know. Well, we'll wait and see. My memory is that he doesn't actually kill.
He does.
Yes.
So.
I also, it just occurred to me that, like, the only time we see Sam have strength is when he's running away. When he, runs away with Gilly, when he runs away, like, he goes...
Or, like...
He takes Gilly with him.
Or when he's trying to protect someone.
But it's always... Yeah, and it's usually because of protection, but it's always a running away. He runs away from the house, he runs away from the Citadel. It is always, like...
Oh, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, like, his bravest moments are when he's... running away.
Yeah, from whatever it is, and with whoever. It's always with Gilly, but.
Yep.
Yeah, Rast is the fucking worst. Just a shitty little man.
And Arya meets the Brotherhood. The Brotherhood without banners.
Yes.
And is this where she and at first, they were just like, here, let us give you a meal, and then run along.
The Hound blows up her spot real quick.
He's like, what do you do with the Stark
What
bitch?
you got with Arya? They're
that's
like,
not this episode.
Yeah, it is.
No, because we haven't even left Hot Pie yet.
It super is. We don't lose. That's at the pub. They leave Hot Pie after that.
Yeah, but
they get the Hound. I'm looking at my notes.
Okay, no, go on.
I write them scene by scene. Thoris and the brothers are
go on.
Jesus. Okay. That's it. That's all.
That's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
All right, and then Walk of Punishment. Okay, so we meet more new characters. Catelyn's family. We meet her youngest brother,
shitty little brother,
Edmure Tully.
Fuck up.
And her uncle, the Blackfish, who I think is he is one of the best badasses.
Is he Brendan? Is that his name? Brandon?
Edmure.
No. That's the
the Blackfish
is Brendan.
Brendan, yeah.
So Blackfish is the badass. He's the only one who will escape from the Red Wedding.
And also the way that he is just like, fuck.
He's like, let me do it.
And he just throws he doesn't look, he throws it back at Edmure and walks away. Like, what a shit. It's very
But then
good.
at the same time, I think, okay, why didn't you just, set the boat on fire? But then also, what happens if, never mind. I'm talking the Tully's burial things, if you set a boat on fire, then won't the boat just kind of sink, and then maybe the body won't fully burn? It's just going to this dead body's just going to float down the river.
It's down the river. It's not their problem anymore.
Okay. Oh, and then
this is the power play with chairs.
This is the best
most
scene of all
silent.
time, and I didn't even notice it until rewatching this time. Is that Tywin purposely set that up? The chairs were never lined up like that, and he is standing there waiting for all of them to come in, and it's he's just waiting to see what they will do.
Well, because the way that he set it up made zero sense. He has this long table, his is on the end, and then the 5 other chairs are on one fucking side. What the fuck?
And
so there's that first little jostle of Littlefinger's no, I'm gonna be first.
Well, how each one of them picks their chair is exemplified of how they play the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Cersei comes in, and all the chairs, she's like, I'm not sitting down at the end. Hello,
she
Crystal.
takes it to the end, so she sits at the right hand of the hand.
Which, random bit of trivia, you may notice that her chair was actually a little bit shorter than the others. It's because those chairs were so heavy, Lena Headey could not pick it up. So they had to custom make a chair just for her to pick it up and carry it. And then Tyrion comes in.
Drags his like an awkward.
He drags it, and then he sits in it and does that last little boop.
That brought me
and like
so
no one
and
says
no
a
one
word.
says anything, and the faces are even so good. They're all just like, interesting choice. Like all of their faces are so good, and Tywin's just sitting there. It's I like it.
Mm-hmm. And then that's where Tyrion becomes Master of Coin.
Mm-hmm.
Because Baelish is going to the Vale to help turn Lysa Arryn against Robb. Whatever. She sits out the entire War of Five Kings, so it's not that important.
Yeah.
So
then we have...
I made a note earlier that Robb is exactly like his dad, by the way. He knows how to fight. He doesn't know how to rule.
No.
You know, so it's like, you know, all he can do is win a battle. He doesn't know how to take it past that.
But also, like...
fallacy.
I mean, I think it's not only, like, winning battles. Like, if they were to pay attention to, like, you know... Edmure fucked that up. Like, he could win wars, too. But, yeah, like, getting past that. And also, again, lack of communication. Or people just going out on their own.
I mean,
Edmure
Edmure's
fucked
going
it
on
up.
about that stupid mill.
Yeah.
Like, thwarting all of Robb's plans.
So then...
the mill.
I got it. We have Brienne and Jamie.
This is the first time first time I've noticed a timestamp on the series. It's been at least a year since Jamie was captured.
Yes.
You know, because we just
he talks about it a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we have no idea. It's like
he
how
says
long has this been going
he says
on?
like
So.
You know, he's been captured for a year. He says he's been walking around in the same shoes for a year. Like he mentions it a couple times, so we do get that timestamp.
I wonder if maybe someone said something and said, "Okay, let's start putting.
Let's bring this in a little bit.
Frame it."
And they also have that conversation about her getting raped, and like, it's so ridiculous that he's like, "Don't fight it." She's like, "Would you fight it?" He was like, "Oh, I'd make them kill me." It's like, well, then why? The fuck, Jamie? Like, come on, don't be a dick about it.
Well, but I mean, but this shows that Jamie's actually starting to care.
Yes,
for her being.
I think this is the beginning of his upward trajectory. I think before this.
I would say he's not even going up yet because he hasn't hit bottom yet. But
yeah.
But, I mean, that's why I just think like before the thing that no one agrees with me on. There's just some hint of like, oh yeah, that was shitty, but I'm a shit. And then here it's like I can actually care about someone.
Yeah.
You know, without speech about the sapphires.
You know, and you know, and then he prevents her from being raped. But I made a note later. You know, it's not until he loses his hand that he hits absolutely rock bottom and has nowhere to go but up.
So Gendry is helping Thoros, and then they leave the inn. So this is when they leave Hot Pie, and she gives him the
commentary for that scene. The props people brought them several different wolves. Like some were really good, some were really bad. So they're trying to find the nice balance of it looks like a wolf, but it's still kind of bad.
Yeah.
But he makes up for it later on when we see him again.
Yeah. So I thought that was cute. Then we have Tommen.
First, before we meet Tommen, I have a grand conspiracy about that. Before we meet that, we go to the Fist of the First Man and see our first spiral pattern.
No, we don't.
I have to know.
I do too. After the goodbye, it's Catelyn and the uncle talking, and the Lannister boys.
Okay, well, maybe I wrote the note about my Tommen conspiracy afterwards.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't like. What a weird thing that they were just like, no one will notice that one of the Lannister cousins is Tommen.
Oh. Well, because all the Lannisters look the same. They're like little blonde children.
I think what they did is they didn't actually kill him and they snuck him off and they replaced him.
Well,
Cersei didn't notice.
Well, the actors who play Tommen are like, there's a new actor playing Tommen every single season. And Myrcella, too.
Yeah.
Like, every single season there are different children.
I don't know that we've seen Tommen since the Battle of Blackwater.
And maybe
And
not.
do we see him again before he's
He's
this guy?
He's Martin. I don't know.
We'll keep an eye out.
But like it would be one thing if he was the other kid that they don't show and they don't talk to, but no, he's the one that they talk to, who has words, who when they show the dead bodies they show him, they're like, they'll forget it. Fourth season.
Well, because the Battle of Blackwater was just it was episode 9, right? So we haven't seen Tom in
5 episodes?
6.
Yeah, 4 episodes.
And then I don't think we see Marcilla again until...
Not until they go down to Dorne.
Yeah, until she's grown up. So...
Until right before she dies.
I think that's funny.
Spoiler.
Whoopsie. So then we get the dead horses in a spiral.
Sorry. Some of my notes are out of order. I'll admit to that.
Well, I put all of my notes.
Yeah.
All of my notes are one whole paragraph about what that character does in that whole episode, rather than.
Oh yeah, and I have it scene by scene.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's good that we take notes differently, or else it'd be real boring.
So yeah, that is where Hot Pie stays behind.
And then they bring up the point of the dead horses. It's only horses, but Orel had seen the people.
But there's
before.
no body. There's no human
bodies.
bodies.
He'd seen the dead crows, and so he was like, "So now you know what the crows are. Now they're all White Walkers too. They just added 200 to their."
And then those that did survive have gone back to Craster's, where Gilly is up there giving birth.
Poor Gilly.
Craster is so annoyed by the sounds of labor. It's like, well, quit knocking up your daughter wives.
Yeah. But I'd forgotten this. Sam is actually there at the physical birth of little Sam. I mean, then he turns tail and runs away.
And
it's so disgusting.
This isn't the scene. Okay, we'll talk about it next.
No, and interesting. I was listening to what Craster was talking about. He does this all I'm a godly man, etc., etc. But then he talks about he's a godly man to the right gods.
Yeah.
So it's he never specifies exactly. And he says, he's not afraid of the winter. He's not afraid of the walkers. And I think it's because of his offerings.
Yeah.
So maybe when he's talking about being a godly man, he's talking about to the
Night King.
Yeah.
Night King or whatever, the old gods.
Yeah.
Because they're, I guess, come from that same mythology.
We also meet Ramsay.
Yes,
and we get him just being such a that is such a good fucked up storyline. That whole thing, because it's 2 episodes of us having no idea who he is.
The long con.
And the long con just to be a
dick.
Yeah,
well, no, it's because it's not just about that. It's that he is interrogating Theon.
Yeah.
It's yes, we can torture him all we want, but he helped him to escape, and then they're sitting there he sits there with him, and he gets Theon to admit that he did not really kill the Stark boys and stuff. So it's
it's not a complete toy, but
it's also just this
mental game,
such a different form of torture that he does often, where he gives him the opportunity to have a good thing and then just fucking rips it away. And so he gives him freedom and an ally and a way back to his family.
Yeah, and he's like, your sister is just over this hill.
And then he's just just kidding, tie him up, boys.
Well, see, Ramsay is often compared with Joffrey as being one of the most evil, maniacal people on this show. But the thing about Joffrey is that Joffrey's just impulsive. He's just oh, I'm just gonna shoot people, or I'm just gonna have you tortured, whatever, blah blah blah. But Ramsay has a method.
Well, and I think it's different motivations. Joffrey's Joffrey's a child, and he's doing things for in order to get power and to be a powerful king. Yeah. He's doing the wrong things because he's a child. But then Ramsay is just so fucking twisted. He's just doing it to fuck with people.
Well, and it could be the difference, maybe that Joffrey is cruel and a monster, but Ramsay is truly wicked.
Yes. Oh, he's bad.
But we don't know who he is at this point.
No, we don't.
Actually, what is that actor's name who plays Ramsay?
No idea.
Well, whatever his name is, I should know it. When he was cast, while they were filming the entire season, he was not allowed to tell anyone who he was playing. Even on all the call sheets and whatnot, he was just random sweeper boy.
Yeah.
Or something like he was not allowed to tell anyone that he was playing Ramsay Snow.
I do also love the moment of they give you a hint, but you don't know, because when he shoots all the guys who are going after Theon, and the guy goes, "Oh, you bastard!"
Yeah. Melisandre leaving?
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's off to find King's blood.
I mean, she really looks like she's grasping at straws right now, and
but also like this is one of the first times where we see Stannis. I feel like I keep doing it because he keeps getting a little bit more like interesting, kind of like he keeps getting more character, maybe, but he's like, nah, let me put it in you again and get another smoke shot. And she's like, you can't handle it.
Yeah.
Like,
and she's like,
your fires are weak.
Yeah,
your fires are weak, old man.
But again, that was always the thing about her birthing that smoke demon baby monster, whatever you want to call it. It's like, why is it only good for like an hour or so, just long enough to like kill one guy and then wham, it's gone?
I think it had to have a specific purpose.
You got this.
But no, I mean, this is the first time we really see, in a way, Miss Melisandre's almost panicked. So I think she really is like, how did I get this so wrong? Like, I'm right, but I was wrong. So I got to go find out how I'm still right.
He's like, what are you going to do? She's like, I don't know. Like, I'll find it, probably.
Oh, and then I have, Podrick receives his reward for saving Tyrion's life. And he is so good at what he does to the whores that they give him his money back.
This is another. There's so many good pointless scenes in this, like these sets of episodes. Like the chair, like that's not necessary. And this same one where there's so much time spent on them being like, I don't get it. Did you?
Like, what did you do to them?
Hang on. Like,
lots of things.
There's so many pauses of like. And then, like, Bronn and Tyrion look at each other. They're like...
And then Tyrion's like, sit down, pour
get
the wine,
tell
details.
Us everything. And then even Roz, like...
Even Roz doesn't know what
like,
they
usually
did.
they're very descriptive, and they just said it was hard to describe. Like, I want to what did he do?
Well, as they say, prodigies abound.
Yes. We skipped a little bit, but we skipped the whole walk of punishment and the
We've already discussed that mostly. Yeah, it's just Dany is starting to see the slaves in the crucify, and I think that's when she's slowly making this plan to free all the slaves.
Yeah.
Well, and I'd written a note that, hold on a second, I'll be right there.
Holding.
Well, because
Holding.
It was Jorah kind of telling her about, what she has to do to accomplish. And he talks about she needs an army, but she also needs their love. Like in Westeros, they do it for the love of their king. They'll throw themselves on a sword, and so she buys them and earns their love in all one fell swoop.
Yeah.
And then we see Jaime do his most noble thing so far, and then also get his hand cut off.
Yeah.
Like lying to them about Brienne and the sapphires.
He's smooth, but he's not smooth enough.
No.
Yeah, gosh. Oh, and he had that look, and he's like, untie me. He's like, and they're like, oh, is this good enough for a table? And he's like, it'll do.
Yeah, it gets. Oh.
And then it's like, oh.
Well, and did you guys talk about we finally learned about the crown's deaths?
No, that's in the next episode.
No, I know the crown's deaths are revealed in this episode.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. We're talking about all the episodes, so yes, we could discuss the debts. I mean, it's not, because we knew that Tywin,
Tywin has given them
we knew that Tywin had loaned a lot of money to the crown, but this is the first we hear of the Iron Bank owing them tens of millions, and that is even worse. I love Bronn saying, he's like, well, what if I don't pay it back? And this is why I don't lend you money.
Yeah. When you don't pay it back, then they give money to the person who hates you, and they kill you.
Yeah. Next episode?
Yes, and now his watch has ended.
No.
I don't know. Winterfell is still burning in the opening credits.
Yeah, it's still burning for, 2 seasons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where Jaime is officially at rock bottom.
He is broken.
When they give him that canteen, I want to know, who is the idiot that stood underneath the horse with a canteen waiting for it to pee?
Too. Well, to be fair, when horses pee, it's a lot and it's a while. So, like...
you don't have to wait. You just have to be nearby.
Yeah, if you're nearby and sure, you can get your canteen and like, all right, there we go.
God, but Brienne is there trying she can't really do anything. She can just talk to him, trying to save him and tell him, do not die. You need to eat.
And it works.
Yeah. I mean, because she knows, like she says later, she says, I know what you did for me. Oh God, that scene was always brutal. I always hated watching that scene where they take her off there and they don't actually succeed in raping her, but you just hear her screaming and struggling and like, ugh. But
because she's fighting the way Jaime would. She says she'd, she would rather have them kill her.
Yep. Oh, and then, Varys tells us the story of how he was cut.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and which explains why he despises magic so much and why he really wanted to, like, fight against the Red Priestess and whatnot.
The way he told Tyrion about he would tell him that story eventually, I think this solidifies Varys, and even if it's not official or even conscious, it solidifies their partnership.
Yeah.
But he doesn't tell that story to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I wonder if he was like, yeah, I'll tell you later when I get my sorcerer.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, my
timing.
My sources say that my package is in the mail.
I just got an Amazon alert.
All right, but Tyrion is talking about he is now concerned for his safety. He assumes that Cersei is the one who ordered to have him killed. So actually, he's afraid of Cersei mostly. But do we know yet that Joffrey is the one who did it, or
no?
Well, I don't get it, but yeah. What else
we have more Bran dreams. I just don't give a shit.
Bran's storyline doesn't really get interesting until much later.
Yeah.
Right now he's just traveling.
Rast just like stirring shit up at Craster's.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is like they're cold, they're hungry, they're getting killed off by walkers and such. Like hungry, like starving people will do almost anything.
Yeah.
Gilly gives birth to the baby that will later be called Little Sam.
And Marjorie and Joffrey and the Sept, like just a bunch of, I don't know.
I mean,
we've already talked about a lot of this.
Yeah, but again, this is like how like you see again. Like, well, yeah, you're right.
Well, we learned that Baelish is already. Well, then I'll just give my notes because you guys seem to be all over the place. Baelish is already planning Sansa's escape.
Yeah.
We talk about that. I'd written a man must leave his mother because that's when Marjorie takes Joffrey out of the Sept.
Yes. And they're like, again, that's such a good job because they're like, Lady Marjorie, Joffrey, King Joffrey, he's there too.
Well,
yay!
because you saw that look on Cersei's face. Number one, she hates that someone actually figured out how to control Joffrey, but also she was probably concerned that they hate the king so much they're going to tear you to shreds out there. But then that look on her face when she sees like, oh my god, they like her. Now granted, Cersei has never once tried to like the peasants.
No.
She's like, whatever, when winter comes, if we run out of food, there will be less peasants.
Right.
Go ahead, you go.
I was going to say, we also get Cersei's challenge to Tywin.
Yes.
It's like, he's like, you can't control him. And she's like, I'd like to see you try.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, the thing is, when she says the Tyrells are a problem, this is where she begins her, what do you want to call it? Like, her hatred of the Tyrells, because she knows that once there is a new queen, she is no longer...
Yeah, powerful.
Yeah, she loses all of her power. Not that she really has that much power right now, because she's just a regent, but then she'll be the queen mother, who's just like a figurehead.
We get more Elena. I just love her. She's just like, oh great, another fucking golden rose. Like, what are you doing? Like,
there's I have a golden rose on my chamber
for no reason.
Right.
Giving Varys shit. Oh, there's a spider in the garden. No.
And those girls run off.
Yeah. But she's like, oh, seduce away. She's like, I am so bored. with my life. Please, you entertain me.
And I even like when she like will interrupt her, like she'll like interrupt herself or blow herself off. Because when she says like, "What happens when the non-existent bumps against the decrepit?" Yeah, let's move on. Like, that's for the philosophers. He looks, he's like, "What the fuck?"
But Varys comes to her with a very interesting thing because Roz is spying on Littlefinger for Varys. Varys knows that Littlefinger is going to steal Sansa away, so he's trying to stay because he's always at it with Littlefinger just for no reason. He suggests to Olenna that Sansa marry Loras. And
he doesn't actually. He says he said they just end that with they have a solution for it. They don't say. I mean, obviously that's what
he makes a play to take Sansa out of Baelish's hands. Yeah. But they don't actually say what yet.
Yeah.
Because now at this point, Sansa is just a frickin' pawn, and everyone wants her for her name.
What do you think Marjorie's play for Sansa is? Like, I think is it just to get the power in the North?
She's the key to the North.
Yeah.
And it's just I mean, I think that's the deal. And I've made the note here just thinking about the overall picture because I always am upset about how much shit or no credit Sansa gives Tyrion, and I kind of realized, because she's supposed to marry Loras and that's taken away from her. Mm-hmm. That Tyrion represents that to her. It's like, and then she gets Tyrion and she's like, I'm stuck here again.
Well, we're not there yet.
You.
Yeah.
I think Marjorie generally likes her. I think they are genuine friends, and I mean, she wants Sansa to marry her brother because she's the key to the North, but I think they are genuinely friends.
I think it's a little because I don't honestly believe that Marjorie has anything any intentions that are just that good and pure. Yeah. I think it is nice to have someone who she can be kind around. Like she knows that with Sansa she doesn't have to play games because Sansa's dim. So she can just kind of have a girlfriend and know that it's not going to be she's not going to get backstabbed. She can kind of almost obviously she'd never have her as a confidant, but she can have someone there on her side. Well, it's a comfort thing. She's almost like a teddy bear.
Sansa belongs to the Lannisters.
Yeah.
And what better thing, than to steal from the Lannisters?
Well, she spent the most time with Joffrey at this point.
Yeah, so she does have that too.
She spent the most time with Joffrey.
Yes.
Sansa has.
Yeah. But in terms of let's get you out of here. You'll marry my brother and you'll go. I mean, all the nice. I mean, it's she's taking the boy away.
Also, we're going back I'm going back an episode, but that conversation where Olenna and Marjorie talk to Sansa is so terrified. Broken. Yeah, she is so broken and terrified because she's like, oh no, he's great and he's handsome and he's lovely and he's a good fighter and da-da-da. And they're like, she was like, he cut off my dad's head and said he wouldn't, said it was mercy, and they made me watch it, but he's nice.
I wanted to slap her the next time she said, I am loyal to my beloved Joffrey.
Yeah.
I love when she says that to Cersei, and Cersei's like, oh, honey, please.
Yeah.
All right, we need to hurry up and move on.
Yeah.
Okay, then this is one of the best moments of this entire season. Dany offers the dragon to the slave masters.
Hang on, we're skipping. We skipped.
First of all,
we skipped the whole fucking Craster thing.
Yeah, well,
no, we are.
That's the end of the episode. Dany's thing is the end of the episode.
Well, see, that's why I talk about what happens to each character at once, so that we're not going all over the place, so that we could just talk about, yes, they kill Craster and Lord Mormont.
They have a big fucking mutiny.
But the one thing that
and that starts so much more shit.
Audie talks about all the time.
Rock.
And then my question is Little Sam, is he supposed to be 99 or is he 100? Does Craster know he has a son yet?
He's the 99th because there's another one that is born after Craster dies. Because that's the one that goes with the first time we meet the Night King.
And I think...
Okay.
Because Craster also says he just had his 99th.
Right. But
and he knows
the way
that
he said it, I couldn't
she
tell
was giving birth.
He was even counting Little Sam yet. Because, does he even know yet? I don't know. But,
I think so. Yeah. And then we meet Beric also.
Oh, then we meet Beric. What happens when you can't cast a part truly, 2 seasons ahead of time. Because they're like, I ain't marrying Dondarrion.
I'm not the same one. That's what we all said when the first one came up. We were like, hang on, not him. All right, now, Mark, go.
Okay, so Dany offers the dragon for the 8,000 Unsullied, and oh my gosh, again, bravo to the, I guess, the sound department for coming up those little dragon baby squeals when, like, she hands him the dragon, and then she walks away, and the dragon is like, Mama, where are you going?
Hang on. I don't know him.
He's like, I don't want to stay with this guy.
This guy's an asshole. I don't want this.
Yeah, and then as soon as she's like, okay, yep, it's done, the deal is done, then she's just like...
Yeah, she double checks. And she even is like, march forward, spin around, jump on one leg. All right, cool, kill your masters. Like,
right.
Yep, they're listening to
And
me.
see, and what is so great about this is that this is the first time, even like the one other person, the warlock that the dragons killed, nobody saw that happen.
yeah.
So this is the first time anyone sees the dragons, you know, do anything violent or kill anyone. So
On command.
yes, literally on command. And,
And
that
then
scene
she
is
drops
so cool.
the mic. Like,
Literal mic drop.
Mic drop, whip drop.
And then she gives the whole speech. She says, like, you can go if you want,
The
or
last
you
time
can...
she gave that speech didn't work
yeah.
out so well.
But this time, and it was, like, again, another, like, the pauses, the time that they give to things is so good because it was like, oh God, are they gonna, and then someone just, and then they all do, and then Jorah starts nodding his head, and like, he's like,
And then the music starts up and they start marching out, which... random bit of trivia, this was the episode that they submitted for the Emmy nominations, and that episode earned Emilia Clarke her first Emmy nomination.
Nice.
Okay, so now she has her army. She has 3 dragons who now are actual weapons,
Yes.
and she has her army. And yeah, moving on.
Episode 5, Kiss by Fire.
Oh. Alright, so they start with the Hound's trial by combat.
How bad?
Which, okay, first of all, like, setting your sword on fire, that is terrible for the steel. Like, no wonder it easily gets cut in half later when he
Yeah.
does that. But also, it's more of a menacing thing, especially for
But
the Hound.
especially for the Hound.
who
But the
we know
Hound
is
did
terrified
pretty,
of
a
fire.
good job.
But
Which, before this moment, he has been...
I'm tired of seeing
He has been...
Crystal's back.
Hello, and Crystal's here.
Sorry.
He's been completely, like, consumed by fear of fire before this moment.
No worries.
And now he, like, managed to fight through it.
Yeah, he did. Well, yeah, I mean, he was really kind of forced to. But, I mean, as far as, like, saying, oh, that fire's so bad for your sword, it is magic fire.
I know.
He lights it from the blood in
Yeah.
his hand.
My favorite that was Arya in that scene. She's like,
She's
kill him!
And also,
Yeah.
could that bitch be more in the way? She is like, I gotta watch this right. No, you're
I
gonna
think
get
she's kind of hoping
stabbed.
maybe he comes a little bit closer and she can stab. Like, because after the fight is over, she literally is like trying to run over there. Like, I will kill him myself.
She grabs a knife. Gendry grabs her.
And then Dondarrion comes back from the grave.
Yes.
It's the first time to see that happen.
Next we have Jon giving up a bunch of information and Oral just being a little whiny bitch about
Yeah.
it. Which that's his whole fucking character, is just like, no, he's fucking my lady and I don't like it, even though I forgot to tell the lady that I like her. But then, like, Tormund's like, nah, fuck
I
this.
hate the scenes with him because that's all he is. He's a whiny little bitch the entire time.
Well,
every time he's on
He
screen.
doesn't hang out. When, he's not here for 6 seasons. He has
I
a
know
purpose.
that. But he had a purpose of getting in John's face and being like, "Yo, back off my bitch." That was it.
But here's my question.
That was it.
Does everyone know to steer clear of the sex cave? I mean,
Right?
you know,
There's a whole army of
it's like there's a hot spring handy, and it's not.
How is
just
it
like
not
party
crowded?
central.
Yeah. That's a good bath.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't either.
There were so many scenes also where it was just like, all right, the brothers let Clegane go, all right, and moving on. Like, we're done with that. Let's see. Oh, Roose Bolton gets real mad at how they treated Jaime
Oh,
and
yeah.
Well,
Brienne.
and
Brienne.
this was my question: is like, do we think? I mean, has Bolton already turned like against Rob, or is he just about to?
I don't think.
I
he's
think
about
that's
to.
the conversation we can have after we watch the next episode where Bolton and Jamie and Bran are all talking,
Okay.
but I think it's once Jamie arrives, he sees a new opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite decided what to do yet, but now he knows. Okay, it's I could take him back to Robb, but at this point, like, he knows, like, everyone's abandoning Robb. Robb has lost his purpose.
And there is also an argument that he's treating Jamie as a prisoner of his station, where he was treated like absolute crap before.
Right.
Yeah, he should have been. He maybe could have been treated nicer because he is a lord, or a
knight.
Yeah, I mean, of noble birth.
We started to learn more about Qyburn.
Oh,
I just like Qyburn.
Oh yeah, so yeah, when he's peeling off the rotted flesh on his arm, like Jamie is screaming in pain, and you see this look in his eyes. He's all like, I mean, but also it's kind of one of those. Yeah, I mean, he was probably one of those people that did like autopsies and such to study bodies and learn medicine.
Well, I think he is like a true scientist, which can get really sketchy when you just want to find out how everything works
With no ethics.
with no ethics, no morals, no concern for how creepy or fucked up it is. And that becomes a problem. But I think that's also why I like him, because it's like Cersei and Baelish are talking about the Tyrells again, just a one-off, like nothing.
I said, Robb is losing control. Tommen is recast.
Well, because okay, and I mean, first off, Lord Karstark, get a hold of yourself. Yes, we are sad that your son was killed by Jamie, but again, those two little boys did not murder him.
Yeah.
That was uncalled for.
I wrote, Karstark is a shit man. That's what I wrote.
But also, that was officially, I mean, ever since he married Talisa, is that her name?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Talisa.
Ever since he married her, his men have been drifting away from him, but the moment he kills Lord Karstark is the moment that's the point of no return for
And
Robb.
also, like, I think it's telling that his last words were, "Kill me and be cursed, you are no king of mine." So
Yet, at the same time, if I remember correctly, back in season 1, wasn't it Lord Karstark is the one who stood up and said, "That's the only king I will bow to, the king of the north." I really think...
Was that 1 or 2? No,
it was the end of season 1.
It was the end, yeah.
I really...
When he got his fingers bit off?
No. And the season finale of season 1, after Ned Stark was killed...
Yeah,
I really want to say that Karstark was the one the first one to say King of the North.
Yeah, I believe it.
Anyway, and wait, I had another note about that. Oh, well, we'll keep talking about Robb. So now Robb has realized that he's lost his purpose, and again, like, just go home, Robb. Like, you've lost the war, just go home. Yeah. But then he's like, no, I'm going to steal Casterly Rock, but I need more men. But he says the only army who hasn't sided yet is Walder Frey's, and he's like, well, I backed out of the last deal that I made with him, but now I'm going to go back to him and ask him for another favor. Like, you're just asking for disaster. But also, what about the Knights of the Vale?
Yeah.
What about your aunt? Like, does it not
occur to
him to go and ask his aunt?
Audie says it's Umber who stands up and says...
Whatever, Audie. You're probably right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought about that, and I was like, why didn't you think about the Knights of the Vale? Why didn't maybe send a raven to Liza and maybe ask her first?
Well, because she's so fucking crazy.
I mean, she probably would have said no, but still, like, just go home, Robb. Ugh, I'm frustrated.
We get Arya and Thoros and Beric having a nice little scene.
Yeah, so he's going to... So now they're going to ransom Arya.
And also, like, I write a few comments, and this one was my heart when she says, can you bring back a man without a head? Not 6 times, just once. I was like, oh.
No, I thought the best moment was when she tells Gendry, I could be your family.
Oh my god!
And he's like, you would be my family, you be my lady.
Arya reunion.
I'm a sob. I am going to sob in there.
I will tear up if they're reunited in this new season.
They have to be. We meet Stannis' wife. Have we met her before?
Crazy, but no, this is the first time we meet her. She's sitting there with all of her stillborn fetuses.
And the way that she's just like, oh
yeah,
yeah,
they're all stillborn. One of them looks pretty big.
No, they're fetuses. Yeah.
No, one of them
well,
looks
like stillborns and miscarriages.
and she just put them in little.
Is
I don't know what the
pretty much
difference
none
is,
of her
yeah.
babies survived, and
Yeah.
she kept them.
All I know is those jars are. I was like, oh my
Ah,
god. I don't know why they
batshit
reminded
crazy.
me of the alien jars from Independence Day.
I thought about that too.
I was like, it's the same thing.
So gross. That
She
bitch
is,
is
and she's
crazy.
like totally. She's like, oh no, I know you fucked another lady. I'm into it.
She's like, I was so
she gave
glad.
you
I
a
wept
son.
with joy.
Well, she would be in the compound in Waco.
Yeah.
you know.
Right?
She is a true believer.
Yeah. And then we meet his daughter too, who is actually a very sweet girl.
Oh, she's so good.
and she
nice.
wants to teach Davos how to read.
Well, and I just love the acting, that make a simple thing like her grayscale. Again, her grayscale doesn't make her repulsive, but they're all like,
Yeah.
like Jerry and Scar, Scar.
So actually, her teaching Davos to read will really be a big payoff later on. This is also a
Brienne
really,
in the
really
bath?
good scene. Jaime and Brienne take a bath.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Butts galore. Good butts all
Butts
around.
galore. They're both very attractive people.
Yeah.
And even Brienne, who is supposed to be absolutely hideous, the actress, yes, she's very big, but she is not
I forget how
unattractive.
skinny she is. Like for how
Well,
big
because she's
always
usually in
like,
armor
yeah.
and such. But
When
yeah,
she stood up, I was like, oh shit.
she's a very attractive
And-
woman. She's actually a
and-
model.
What's his face? Jamie's look of basically contrition when she stands up and she's like, what the fuck? And he barely even looks at her and he's like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Instantly is like, I did it bad. I did a bad job. And feels bad and says that was unworthy. The words that he uses, I don't know. I like it. But he also tells that story.
About how he killed the Mad King.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how hard he tried not to. How he told
Right.
him twice to surrender. How he told him, even though it was his dad coming to fuck shit up, he was still like, no, let me try and do the right thing and get him to surrender without death.
Yeah.
But Mad King was way too fucking mad.
Well, and this is where we first hear about the wildfire under the Sept.
Yes.
Yes,
And there's also wildfire under the Red Keep.
Yes.
It's all over the city, which they they continue to hint at it more and more. Foreshadowing.
And I wonder if Cersei even knows Jaime's story. I mean,
don't
it
know.
feels like that was the deepest
I'm
revelation of his, and their relationship, even though it's deep, is still, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Cersei would know that.
I don't know.
Well, no, I mean,
Pretty
would he
damn
even in the bed? Would he even confess to her how hard he tried? Would he even, or is that
How hard he tried to what?
to stop
Stop.
the Mad
Stop.
King?
I don't think he would because
I don't think so either.
Cersei's not a good person, so she wouldn't
Yeah.
fucking care.
No, she
Yeah,
wouldn't.
she wouldn't. I don't think he's. And
I don't think he would be
he's
that
not
vulnerable
felt vulnerable in
front of
Cersei's
her.
presence.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, cool.
That's his deepest, darkest,
Yeah.
not darkest, but his
Are we gonna
deepest,
talk or not?
most private thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
I agree.
All right. Then we meet Oliver, who is sure he's pretty and all, but he's gonna really come back to bite the
Right.
Tyrells in the ass,
So Baelish-
and not in a good way.
Literally and figuratively.
So
Basically,
he's clearly spying for Baelish because he goes straight to Baelish
Yeah.
and says, "Oh, they're gonna marry Sansa to Loras." So of course Baelish goes straight to Tywin and tells him, and then another great Lannister scene is Tywin talking to Cersei and Tyrion. And I love Cersei's
Petulant little children.
Cersei, how she acts throughout that whole scene because she knows.
She's so proud.
She's like, oh yes,
so
you're gonna
haughty.
have to marry Sansa, and you're gonna hate it. I'm so happy. And then Tywin's like, and you're gonna marry Loras. She's like,
the fuck?
what?
Yeah.
And you see, that's one of those moments how, you see, how terrifying Tywin can be.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is the first time I've seen him treating his children like children. And being
Yes.
like, no, you shut up and you do what I tell you. Because y'all are children.
Fucking it up.
Yep. And I think if
I said Tywin is putting his fucking foot down.
yeah, I think if events did not play out the way that they did, if it actually came down to Cersei being forced to marry Loras, I think she probably would have killed herself, like she
Or
says
she killed
did.
him.
Oh yeah, she probably would have killed him.
She would have killed him. She would have poisoned him.
Yeah.
The one thing that we missed was Jorah and Barristan talking to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think there is an interesting, like, power play here. And I'm not sure, like, them is Selmy figuring out that Jorah was the spy, or is Jorah trying to figure out...
I think Jorah's trying to figure out...
Selmy doesn't know who the spy was.
Okay.
Yes. Because he's not going to find out till later. Tywin is going to tell him.
Because once you kind of... Oh, you were never at the small council.
Right, okay.
Then all of a sudden he gets like all like uppity, like, okay, well I was here first.
Yeah. But also, like, Barristan buys in real fucking quick. Like, he gets to we an hour instantly. Like, oh, it's our problem, and we are going to go to Westeros, and like Jorah even calls him out. He's like, is it we already?
Our. We also meet Grey Worm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Grey Worm. He's not dead yet, is he?
No.
Okay, good. I didn't think so.
And that sweet moment of like, you need to pick a better name, and he's like, the name I had before was bad because I became a slave. Grey Worm is good because I got saved by you.
Yeah, that was my name when I got saved. Yeah.
Oh, that was so sweet.
We did it.
It's a great speech.
Yeah, that's so we're. I mean, this is not my favorite season.
Really? Yeah, no, it's probably not.
It's not my favorite.
Nothing happens.
I didn't say that. I just said it's not my favorite.
There's butt sex and wine.
Yeah.
Well, because now we all know what we're leading up to, and it's hard to watch certain characters do stupid things, knowing exactly what's going to happen, and it's frustrating.
But that's been true for 2 fucking seasons, so...
Yeah.
Talissa, Jesus.
It's right. Actually, okay, never mind. We're not going to go into that yet. So this is where we are now. That's... I mean, anything else you want to add?
I think we're good.
So, tune in next week, and we are going to discuss episodes 6 through 10, including one of the most infamous television episodes in all of television history.
The episode that probably birthed more reaction videos ever.
Not ours, but sure.
All right, so we are the Knights of the Drunk Watch.
And now our talk has ended.
For now.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Figure out
all right.
Streaming.